another day, another respawn anchor. Let's go. That's 10 million to my island value. I'll just get these stuff out. Okay, let's just go back, place down that respawn anchor. Ah, feels good. Okay, there we go. 74 million to my island value. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's see what I want to do. Oh. Hi. I didn't see you there. You want to get a respawn anchor every day like I do? Well, you've come to the right place to know how to do that. So, today I am going to give you an idea, a general idea of how you can do an effective nether session where you get at least one respawn anchor every day. Or if you have only the lodestone unlocked, then you can get the lodestone every day. Or if you only have the crying obsidian unlocked, you can get maybe 2 or 3 crying obsidians a day. It really depends on how your nether session is. The problem is that you are not the only one who does the nether. So pretty much if you get really unlucky and everybody is just fishing, or everybody is just killing mobs, or everybody is getting all the mushrooms, then you're never gonna get the value blocks from nether. So the nether is generally a really good place. You either get the value blocks or get a bunch of sky coins and a bunch of XP. I currently have 600,000 sky coins, almost 700,000. I got all of those sky coins in this nether session I just did. But I have tier 5 unlocked, which gives way more sky coins than tier 1. But still, tier 1 gives 200,000 sky coins. That's pretty good. And you do 5 days of doing only tier 1s, you get 1,000,000 sky coins, which is required to unlock tier 5. Obviously, you actually have to unlock tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and tier 5, which I believe is around 1,700,000 sky coins, maybe even 2 million, I am not even sure. I have unlocked the lower levels really early on. I just basically speedran all of those levels. So how do you get value blocks? Well, basically, if you go to the nether, in just a second, and if you run towards that house right there, there is the trader. So the trader trades certain items for the value blocks. Tier 1 and Tier 2 can be traded for crying obsidian. Tier 3 and Tier 4 can be traded for lodestone. And Tier 5 only can be traded for a respawn anchor. Every single one of them is pretty much the same. You need 3 stacks of mob drops, 3 stacks of fish drops, 3 stacks of ore drops. I believe it's 13 or... yeah, it's 13 stacks of tree drops and 14 stacks of crop drops, which is sums up to be 36 stacks, which means you actually have to fill your entire inventory with items. Now, what people might not know is that you can actually combine level 1 and 2 and level 3 and 4. So for a lodestone, you can actually have, I guess, tier 3 mob drops, tier 3 fish drops, tier 3 crop drops, and then let's say tier 4 tree drops and tier 4 I don't know, ore drops. So you can actually mix, you can actually combine certain tier items. You can only combine tier 1 with tier 2 obviously, and tier 3 with tier 4, and there's nothing to combine tier 5 with. Currently there is nothing called tier 6. So everything is pretty well labeled. So if I come out here, for example, the Zoglin is level 2 or tier 2. The zombified piglin is tier 3. The piglin is tier 4, the brute is tier 5, etc, etc. You can pretty much see what tier each and every single one of these are. There are a few exceptions. Obviously the crops aren't that self-explanatory, but if you run around and just do this, it actually, if you have nether time left, it actually tells you well what tier the crop is. Same goes for the ores and the tree drops. The one that people might not understand how to get is the tier 1 fish drop, which is, thank god there is one person fishing here. So basically you have to fish it out, and it's basically a dried kelp or whatever that is, and it's called nether junk. So that is how you get the tier 1 drops, the tier 1 fish drops. So basically the way you unlock the levels is by going to nether unlock. I didn't actually see this is a thing, but yeah, there's nothing called tier 6 in this season. So basically, if you get 100 tree drops, no, 100 fish drops, 100 ore drops, and 100 mob drops, and 500 tree drops, and 500 crop drops, then you can unlock the next tier. When unlocking the next tier, you cannot combine items. So you actually have to, so if you want to unlock tier 2, you have to get every single tier 1 item. If you want to unlock tier 3, you have to get every single tier 2 item, and you cannot combine tier 2 with tier 1 items to unlock tier 3. That only goes for the trader. So you can only combine items from different tiers at the trader. So that doesn't really explain how you can get one value block every single nether session. This guy is a pretty good example. If you see yourself in a video, I am sorry, but you are a pretty good example why you're not getting what you need to get, pretty much. So look at this guy, for example. He is only going for tier 5, which is the biggest mistake I have seen people doing when they are doing the nether sessions. He just ran through, I don't know, like 20 different mobs. I also don't want that right now. He just ran through 20 different mobs to kill one single piglin brute or 2 piglin brutes. Because he's obviously going for a respawn anchor, right? Well, that's fine. You can go for a respawn anchor. Nobody is stopping you. But why don't you just get more sky coins or get more loot by killing all the other tiers as well? If you look at my overflow backpack, you can actually see how many mob drops I already have. I also have the fish drops, I also have the crop drops. The only reason I cannot get a lodestone is because I need to get the warped and crimson stems. And the reason I'm not getting a crying obsidian is because it's not really worth it for me to go for. a value block that is that gives 1 million value to my island. Obviously, I do have the stuff for it almost. I think, yeah, I kind of have this stuff for at least one crying obsidian. Yeah, I have 8,000 nether wart. Let's not talk about that. So, as you can see, I'm even mining the other things, the other ores as well. I don't have that many ores because I don't really need that much time to mine for them if I am ever going for a lodestone or a crying obsidian. So I am basically just going around and slapping everything. And not just the piglin brutes. Obviously, the piglin brutes are needed for the respawn anchors, but I can still get the lodestone while going for the other mobs. I don't have to only go for the piglin brutes. Basically, I am gonna have to wait for piglin brutes to spawn anyway, so if there are no piglin brutes, I'm just gonna kill the other mobs because why not, and get a bunch of mob loot for absolutely dirt cheap. Obviously, you need the right setup to do all of this. So, I would say the right setup would be a maxed out sword, or at least you have to have sharpness and smite. I believe smite does extra damage to zombified piglins, but don't check my knowledge on this, please. But what you really need to have is dual strike, because that has a chance to double your damage against mobs. Normally, you cannot one-shot zombified piglins with my setup. But if dual strike procs, you can actually one-shot them. The other one, which is a really underrated, I feel like it is a really underrated enchant, which is the ethereal. So ethereal gives a chance for you to get haste when you are killing mobs, and haste increases your attack speed, which means if you just slap a mob, right? I don't actually know if I can get haste. Okay, I cannot get haste if my nether is locked. But if you hit mobs, you get haste. And then you can basically just spam click them to death, because you are gonna have maximum amount of damage no matter what. Even if you just do this, you have maximum damage. So that's one thing. Second thing is, you need a few pets, which are kind of necessary for you to be able to get one value block per session. You can actually get 2 value blocks, but 2 different ones. So 1 lodestone and 1 crying obsidian. You need 2 pets at least. You need the iron golem pet, which gives you strength 2 and resistance 2. Previous season, strength didn't even work, I am pretty sure. Now it works. So you can actually one-tap pigs and zoglins. You can just run around, one-tap everything. Zombified piglins are 2-tap. And the other pet that you need is a cat pet, which gives you speed 2, which is absolutely necessary for you to be able to run around quicker. The third pet I am using is the blaze pet. I am currently working on upgrading it. It gives extra time to the 1 hour nether time that you normally would have. So that's a neat pet to go for. I'm currently missing 1 blaze pet to go from level 2 to level 3, which will give me 3 minutes extra. Alright, so now you know the setup. You can actually use defensive dragon armor too if you have that, but it's not necessary. I have tried it. I have two level 2 pieces and two level 1 pieces, but it didn't really make a difference. That means, yeah, I have 12% extra damage to mobs, but it doesn't really it didn't really make a difference, so I just went with netherite armor because I can actually enchant it. And the only enchant that is really helpful on this is the speed swimmer. And reason being, most of the mobs, so if you run around the nether and you cannot find a single mob in the entire nether, then all the mobs are here on this side, right here, right here, and on that side as well. So right here, as you can see, there are 3 brutes already, and there are 4 brutes and a bunch of other mobs here as well. So speed swimmer basically just helps you get around really quickly, and if there are no mobs here, you can just go to the other side this fast, and you can actually kill these guys and then go back, check right next to the spawn. One other place that is really good for finding mobs is around the mines, which is right here. As you can see, there is a decent amount of mobs in the area, and you can actually get a lot of them here. Another thing that I want to show you is the place where it is the most efficient to get woods, in my opinion. So I'm actually gonna go back to the nether warp, so you can actually see where I am going. So if you go straight, give me a second. So if you go straight, you can actually see the Titan boss arena. I am gonna talk about the Titan boss a little bit, but give me a second. So if you go around the Titan boss arena, let me heal up real quick. You can find this place right here with 2 mushroom trees, brown mushroom trees, and 2 crimson trees. The reason this is the best place to get wood or tree drops is because 1, you can get the level 1 tree drops from the mushroom, and 2, you can pretty much just jump to this tree and get every single block of crimson stem from there. And also you can jump to that tree, which is a bit harder, and it's impossible without speed and jump boost. So you actually have to max out the cat pet to do this. Oh god, okay. I cannot jump. What the hell am I doing? Okay, so you can actually just jump to the other side. I'm so bad, dude. No, please don't remove it. Anyway, so you can jump there in that 1 block gap. I am pretty sure I can do it, I'm just struggling, dude. Okay, finally. So you can jump there, jump here, and then jump over there, and you can access this tree. And if you have tier 5 unlocked, well, you need chorus fruit, right? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chorus patches around this area. So this is pretty much the best area to get tree drops from. Hi. Hi. So, how do you get crop drops? Well, basically, you are gonna be running around the entire nether anyway, and whilst you are just trying to find mobs, you can just do this, pretty much. Just remove as many crops as you can, just do this the entire time, and whenever you find mobs, just kill them and then go back to it. You can just, you know, uh, get all the crop drops pretty easily. Uh, okay, one more thing I want to talk about is the nether junk, which is the tier 1 fish drop, which you can only fish. I recommend you do the tier 2. I don't actually know if I can open it. Yeah, I cannot open it anymore, but if you do the tier 2 fishing quest, tier 2 personal quest, you can get a fishing rod called Fisherman's Dream. Uh, and that has lure 4 on it. So if you don't care enough about getting the what is it called? Super fishing rod? Yeah, super rod, which levels up lure every time you fish a certain amount of fish out. If you don't want to bother getting that and level it up, then you can actually use the Fisherman's Dream, which has lure 4 on it by default. And that is pretty much enough for you to get a crying obsidian even in the first nether session of your life if you do everything correctly. Obviously, when you don't have everything unlocked, you only have level 1 unlocked, you can just go wherever you can find mushroom trees. You don't have to go to that place I showed you. That place is only good for players who are trying to get 1 lodestone and 1 crying obsidian a day. Or good for players who are going for respawn anchors and need chorus fruit for that. Okay, last thing about the nether, I think, is the boss arena. So, when you do everything in the nether, kill mobs, get crops, get trees, etc., you are going to acquire ritual skulls. And you can actually right click this respawn anchor with ritual skulls to summon a boss. 16 ritual skulls are needed. I only got 4 today. Somehow, I'm not lucky enough to get more, I guess. But since I am not doing that many things, so I'm not going for mushrooms, I'm not going for, I don't know, tier 3, tier 4 tree drops. I'm only going for tier 5 things. With the mob drops, I am not gonna get that many. So you actually have to break more blocks, break more stuff, break more crops to actually get more ritual skulls. I feel like that's how it works. I'm not 100% sure about it. So, uh, so that is that. But normally I don't care about the ritual skulls. I never really do the nether bosses. I can actually show you real quick what they are good for. So if you go to the nether, let me heal up real quick. So if you go to the nether and you go to this house, I believe. No, this house. So there is this guy, which is the craft. You can go to the recipes, and you can actually see there are 6 different bosses you can actually kill by putting in ritual skulls. You can kill the Terra Titan, the Tidal Titan, Abyssal, Infernal, Mystic, and Celestial Titans. And if you click on that, you can actually see certain number of tabs. And basically, if you craft it together using certain amount of skulls, which is around, I think, 7 stacks of skulls. So you need 7 stacks of skulls to actually level up something to level 3, and it gives a bonus to that tool. Uh, it's not good. Like most of these bonuses are not actually good. The only bonus I feel like could be used uh, is the infernal one. So basically, this one gives a 50% chance to one-hit kill the nether mobs with bow, which can be used at best when you are going for respawn anchors, because brutes need like 8 hits with a sword. This one is pretty good. You can get double drops, and you can get a maximum amount of 12 minutes added to the nether time. But just to get all of this it takes so much time. I don't even like go for them. So yeah, these things are definitely worth it if you have nothing else to do. And but other than that, I don't really recommend banging your head against the wall just to get these things. I have never found them really worth it, honestly. They don't. The amount of time you actually need to spend here in the Nether, uh, getting ritual skulls, and the amount of time you actually have to spend in the arena getting the other skulls, which you need 7 stacks of, mind you. And if you need the full armor, you need 28 stacks of infernal skulls, which is a ridiculous amount of skulls. Yeah, it's not worth it. And one more thing, the Titan just one-shots you. It can literally one-shot you no matter what you do. It did. It did one-shot me one time, and I got mad. And ever since I have been mad about it. I have been just selling these for, I'm gonna say 18 million. I sold them for 17 million yesterday, so I'm gonna sell them for 18 million today. Um, because some people actually care about the nether bosses. I don't, so I'm just gonna sell the ritual skulls. 2 more things that are important to talk about. One, you can come to the nether anytime, even if you have no time left. And you can actually trade with the trader when you have no time left. Second thing is, you can go to the boss arena at any time. You don't have to use up your nether time, and I believe, I'm not 100% sure about this, but I believe if the boss is spawned, the nether time stops for everybody on the server. So whoever is in the nether gets extra time if the nether boss is spawned. But I am not 100% sure about this. I feel like that happens because sometimes there are a lot of people doing the bosses and my nether time doesn't even go down. So that probably is the case, but as I said, I am not sure, so don't check my knowledge on this. Actually, one last thing. So in the beginning, I talked about how you can actually level up your nether tiers and how you can unlock the other tiers. This NPC right here, this is the stats NPC, and you can actually check your nether statistics, if you click on that, you can actually see what you have to catch, what you have to mine, what you have to kill to actually level up or to unlock the next tier. So you can actually have you actually have commands for this. So end stats brings up this window, the end craft, it brings up the Titan crafting window, the end unlock brings up the unlocking window, which I cannot bring up right now because I have everything unlocked. And I think there is a command for trade. Yes, so you can actually bring up these things with commands. So you don't actually have to run to the NPCs, but you can only use these commands if you are in the nether. So just be aware of that. So anyway, I really hope that gives a general idea about how to go about this entire nether thing. I know it's kind of confusing for a lot of players when they are starting out and they're doing their first nether session. It was confusing for me as well. I didn't even know you can combine different tiers. But once you get the hang of it, you can actually get really good things from it, and especially the sky coins. So if you are not even going for the top 10 islands or top 5 even, then you don't even need the value blocks. You can actually sell the value blocks to other players. They are buying it for 50 million for the crying obsidian, to 250 million for the lodestone, and 500 million for the respawn anchor. So you can actually make pretty good money with it if you are selling it for the island teams. I think they have way more money, obviously, than solo islands. So even if you just don't want to put these things on your island, you can actually just sell them for really good money if you have nothing else to do. That is what I actually did when I started out in this season. I sold like 4 or 5 crying obsidians because I needed the money for pet eggs. So and other things like enchants for my swords and other things, my other tools and weapons. So yeah, the nether is a pretty fun place to explore, is a pretty fun place to do, to grind for, and it is very valuable, short term and long term as well. So I really hope this video just gave you a general idea about how to do everything, and I really hope it was really helpful for a lot of players, even if they have been doing the nether for a long time now. Really the one thing that you have to think about is managing your time correctly, but once you just do a few nether runs, you can actually get a feel for it, and you will be able to tell how much time you still actually have. Like, it is gonna say that you have like 35 minutes of your nether time, but you actually have to know what 35 minutes mean. Do you have enough time to go for, I don't know, tier 4 tree drops, or do you actually have to start collecting the other things for, I don't know, tier 1 and tier 2, because you are never gonna get a lodestone anyway, because 35 minutes is not enough time, which it actually is, but I'm not gonna dive into that many details, because then the video would be like hours and hours long. I could talk about your time management and everything else. If you want me to do a video about time management in the nether, and you want me to give you kind of a brief explanation about how you can manage your time, and if you want to give me if you want me to give you examples about how much time each thing takes in the nether, then let me know in the comments, or just walk up to me on the server and you can actually uh, message me or DM me. You actually have to DM me because my chat is turned off, but most of the time. But I always see my DMs if I'm not AFK. So if you want me to do a video like this, just let me know. I'll be happy to do it anytime. Honestly. So yeah, just let me know, and I really hope it was helpful. So see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.